Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I'm your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. How do I do that? I drink the wines, I analyze them, I review them, then it's up to you if you want to pursue them. I review them, you pursue them. It's up to you. Remember, it's always about your palate. Well, this is December 2014. Hard to believe we're there. I started this program in December of 2013, a couple of weeks from now. So, we're really moving along. I want to get viewership up. I'm not really happy about the viewership. I mean, nothing I can do about it except to work harder at getting my videos out there for all of you to see. I have a lot of friends, a lot of people that know me, and they are supporting me. I really appreciate it. I just want to see that viewership get up there. And if for anything, so I know people are watching these. I think they're beneficial. I think they help you find great wines, and I think they help you to save some money. Interesting day in football yesterday. The Seahawks already did the business on the 49ers. Really happy about that, and it was really weird to see St. Louis beat the Raiders 51. I think it was 51 or 52 to nothing. Unbelievable, incredible. That's huge. Anyway, Jets and Dolphins tonight, and a little shout out to Gary V. Hope that your Jets win the game. That would be nice for you. Anyway, so what we're gonna do here, it's a blind episode. As you can see, I have bags on them. I know they're all Cotes Du Rhone. Let's just cut to the chase. They're all Cotes Du Rhone. But I wanted to do them blind because I know that you enjoy that sometimes, to see how they turn out. See which ones fare the best. They're all under 20 bucks. And that's the beauty of Cotes Du Rhone. They're really nice wines, and they're usually really great values. You can get them for next to nothing, really. Even a Cotes Du Rhone Village, which is supposed to be a step up from the entry-level Cotes Du Rhone, they roll in at an incredibly good price. As I've stated before, and I really don't understand it, but my customer base does not go for Cotes Du Rhone, and I can never figure out why. They're great values. They're blends. Of course, most of them are Syrah, Grenache-based blends. Sometimes they throw a little more Vedra and Cinsault in there. But that's basically the blend. They're really good with food. They match up nicely with roasted meats, and you can even use them, roasted veggies, mushrooms, things like that. They work good for those types of foods. But it's very interesting to me why Cotes Du Rhone does not do well. Now, it's different in the summer. I have a lot of Canadian customers that come down in the summer. Right now, the big rage, at least the trend that I'm seeing, is that the Canadians are really going for French wines. They sell a ton of French wines during the summer when they come down. We're only about, you can almost throw a rock to Victoria from the south side of the island, or the west side of the island, excuse me. That's how close we are to Canada. So we get a lot of business, Canadian business. Boaters come down here. They spend a lot of money at the wine department. I have a lot of good friends from Canada that come down. I've gotten to know them over the years, and I really appreciate their business. Let's get started right off the bat. I got 4 of them. I got to move along here. Number 1, we know it's a Cotes Du Rhone. That's all I know. I even put a little tape on the top. Let's do a little rinse. Put a little tape on the top, so one of them was a screw cap. I had the person tape it so you couldn't see which one was a screw cap. Let's see what we get on the nose. So a lot of strawberries coming through on the nose, and strawberry is very typical aroma profile for Grenache. Get a little cherries coming through. Kind of perfumed. I like the nose. It seems to be kind of banging out of the glass. Get a little leather component, a little bit of minerality coming through. And some red plums. Let's see what we get on the palate. pretty light, kind of what I expect from a Cotes Du Rhone, which makes them very versatile for several different spaghetti, pasta. If you're having a spaghetti, lasagna, grilled meats, you do some sauteed mushrooms, it'd be really good. Very light though. The cherry fruit comes through, a little bit of red flour component coming through. Get some crushed rock elements coming through there. Like I said, it's light, it's got cherry fruit, get a little bit of red plum, and a little bit of minerality. This is a very light Cotes Du Rhone, but depending on the price point, whether or not it's a good value or not, but I know they're all under $20. So I'm going to go ahead and grade this one, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I had somebody throw a ringer in this because a little better color on this one, I can tell right off the bat. Boy, nice color on that. How many of you out there like Cotes Du Rhone, or do you even look for them when you're shopping? Do you go to the French section? By the way, you peeps out there that I know here on the island, why is it, I do tasting events, I have David O'Reilly coming up here pretty soon, very excited about that, by the way. David O'Reilly, Owen Rowe, one of my favorite Washington winemakers. He's coming up to do a tasting event for me, very excited about that. But if you're local, if you live here on the island, or you know me, we've talked, why do you think that Cotes Du Rhone does not do well at the store I work at King's, or at tasting events that I do? Do you know? Why is it that you do not pursue Cotes Du Rhone? Make a comment, let me know. Tell me what you think. Ooh, very interesting. This is a little spicier on the nose, which I like. Yeah, this has almost like a sensual, like worn leather, and I get a little currants on this one. There's some, a little bit of forest floor action. I get like a soapy component coming through, which is interesting. Yeah, it's like currants with a little bit of dirt and some leather, mostly currants. Let's see what we get on the palate. Quite a bit more depth on this one, and really nice like black pepper, white pepper components coming through on the back end. I like that a lot. I like a little spice on my wine. Perhaps you've noticed that over the 140 plus episodes, that when I hit a wine that has a little bit of spice action, I really go nuts. I like that. And it's really nice with food too. The leather and earth components, a little crushed rock on this one, almost like you're licking a piece of granite stone or something. A load of red flower. You can get a lot of violets on this one. The cherry, there's more of a cherry red currant notes on the palate. Interesting how it was a little darker on the nose, and then you get to the glass and you get a little bit more acidity, so it makes it into almost like a red fruit component coming through. A lot of red flowers. This has more acidity than the other one. Big time. It's making my mouth water. The minerals are kind of hanging around. The red flowers. I like this wine. More of a food. Even more of a food wine than the first one. Yeah, I like that one. Good structure on that. A little bit, definitely popping in the mouth. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Number 3. A little rinse. That's what, and I try not to waste the wine when I rinse it. And I do bring these bottles back to work with me so that some of the employees can enjoy them, or if I get a really ringer one, I just finish it off that night at home. Number 3. See if I can rearrange this just a little. I got my little boat I got from Porto, Portugal. Actually, I bought it in Villanova de Gaia, right across the river from Porto. Let's see what we get on there. Good color on this one too. Ooh, woo! That is a poopy wine. That is stinky. Now that could be off-putting to some of you, and I totally get it. You may smell the wine, yikes! But don't let it, don't let that bother you too much. I mean, it's very rarely does that stink pass on into the palate. Like, really like poopy leather. Very much, very challenged on the nose. I'm not getting a huge amount out of this one. I just, like poopy leather and dirt. Or we say forest floor, because dirt, you might be thinking of packed down dirt in the backyard or something, but more of that loose dirt, kind of a blend of pine, fir needles and all that stuff that, when you're walking through a forest, you know. Wow. Let's see what we get on the palate. Not much going on in the nose, just that kind of poopy leather and forest floor thing. Maybe just a touch of spice coming through. Case in point, more fruit on this than the other ones. I think there's a lot of you that are going to like this. There's a nice like ripe currant sort of plum element coming through right up front. Turns a little old world on the backside with a little minerality. There's minerality, and then it gets a little bright. There's some acidity on the backside of this one. The red flowers come through, and just a touch of spice on the mid palate. I think of the 3, for the average customer that's coming in wants a good bottle of wine, I think this one would kind of fit the bill. Good fruit, good acidity, good structure. It's making my mouth water. I need food with. But it's not heavy. Leather notes come through on the back side of this one. A little bit of a grip action on it. This one you probably should have with food, and I'm getting a little bit of licorice component coming through, which I find very interesting. But you see, that's the case. The nose was stinky, not so much. Didn't get any of that on the palate. Good structure on this one. Let's move on to the next one. Number 4. A little Cotes Du Rhone action going on here today on Stan the Wine Man TV. And I really do encourage you, if you haven't experimented, it's an easy experiment because Cotes Du Rhone is pretty good. The value is there for sure. This has good color also. Might get a little cardboard on that one. Let's see what we get on the nose. Number 4. We got one over here. This one's very challenged on the nose. I'm hardly getting anything. Maybe a little bit of bark. Nothing exciting on the nose but on this one at all. Maybe just a hint of spice, bark, a little forest art. Forest art, no. Little forest floor notes coming through. So not much on that one. Maybe just a Scotia licorice. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is a very, there's definitely like currant and dark cherry notes, just kind of front to back. It's not very complex in the sense that it doesn't change much. Has a nice flow across the palate. It seems a little bit boring to me. Mineral notes on the back end, a little crushed rock, a little leather. You know, I can see this one being somebody who's just getting into Cotes Du Rhone might really like this one because it's, you know, it's got just a hit of spice. I'm getting just a tiny bit of spice on the back end. I don't want to be too critical on this one because this could be a nice entry-level Cotes Du Rhone that it might be a little tight. I don't know. I don't know, just kind of simple. You get the earth notes, a little bit of coffee bean on the backside. Yeah, for somebody just getting in Cotes Du Rhone, I can see maybe this would be a player for them because it's, you know, it's not going to throw any curves to them. You know, they're not going to get some, you know, knuckleball thrown at them. You're not going to get any surprises. It's just there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It certainly tastes okay. I'm going to call this one boring. Okay. Now the unveiling. Let's see how they did. So the number 4 came in last place for me. Oh man. Oh, about these rubber bands. Holy. Okay. Number 4. Wow. 2010. Google Cotes Du Rhone. Kind of surprising. I'm actually surprised. I gave this one a C. So it's an average Cotes Du Rhone. Like I said, it might be a little bit youthful. Google is, you know, I mean, they're great producers. This is $15. So, I think Tanzer gave this like 89. I totally disagree with that assessment. By the way, Tanzer is selling International Wine Cellar to Antonio Galoni. He still worked there, but yeah, I just found this very boring. I'm really surprised about that one. But it could be youthful, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm not doubting myself. It's just coming in at C plus is Andre Brunel, Cotes Du Rhone, 2009. And this one rolls in at $12. 12 US dollars. Bobby Ketcher. I gave it a C plus. I thought it was a little better than average. $12 at that price. It's really good. Yeah. So hard to believe it could go. I mean, these have been open for a while too. So now let's see. That was number 1. The first one I tasted got a C plus. It came in 3rd place. Now in at 2nd place with a B minus is the Parallel 45 by Paul Jabelet. This is a 2010 Cotes Du Rhone, and this is $10. $10. So, 2nd place with a B minus. So just thought it was pretty good. Now, that's what I like about wine tasting. I'm surprised. In 1st place with a B, with a straight up B, is the Morchon Cotes Du Rhone 2010. And this is, let's see, I think on the back, this is mostly Grenache. I think this one is mostly Grenache based, which explains the spiciness. So in first place at $13, the Morchon Cotes Du Rhone 2010. Well, there you have it. I'm surprised. I am. I mean, Gugal's a great producer. I like a lot of their wines, but what can I say? Call it as it is, was boring. There you go. But reach out. Try Cotes Du Rhone. Great wine, great values. You know, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope I continue to entertain and teach you. That's my purpose. Help you to find great wines at good prices, whether it be $10 or $100. You know, make sure that you spend your money wisely. Cheers. And here's to keeping the snob out of wine.